Purchase orders. Generating an order based on minimum and maximum. Okay, in this video, we're going to start off by talking about purchase orders. Okay, so purchase orders are the replenishment of stock, deciding what you need to order and then ordering it with a supplier. To prepare for this, if we go to Stock Manager, I've created a supplier called Canagan, and I've imported about 100 products that Canagan sell here. Okay, I've set some random quantities of 2, all with minimums of 3 and maximums of 6. So just so you know how it works, if the quantity is equal or below the minimum, the computer will then reorder the product. The amount it orders is determined by the maximum. So it says, I've got 2 in stock, 2 minus 6 is 4, so it will attempt to order 4. But then it will round it up to the nearest case, in this case 8, so it will just order 8. So if for whatever reason it was going to try and order 9, it will always round up, not round down. So 9 would be 16, for example. So usually the best way of doing it is to set your minimums and maximums and quantities for a small supplier to start with. Something you only buy maybe 20 or 30 items, generate an order, see how the computer got on, and then tweak the mins and maxes accordingly. To give you a hand on trying to work out what minimum and maximum you should use, we do have a tool here called Replenishment Calculator. So if you click that, I'll put it on this screen here, and you say, I order this item every 7 days or 14 days and only consider between these date ranges. When you press go, it will come up with all the different minimums and maximums you've got, and it will tell you how many you've sold, the most you've ever sold in a selling period, the least you've ever sold, and the average. And you can use that to try to work out, are you ordering too much or not enough, and so on. So if your maximum is very close to your average, you must keep running out of it. If your minimum is close to the average, then you're probably holding too much stock. And apart from anomalies of somebody coming in and buying a lot all in one go, you may find you're holding too much stock of that. So it's a great tool to try to work out what minimum and maximum you should have. Once you've set your minimums and maximums, then you can go to purchase orders. So at the moment, these are all the purchase orders for this particular store. So our first job is to click New Order. Here we go. And this order will have a number or code. At the moment, the computer is set up to automatically obtain a number. So this is 10,001. The next time I generate it, it'll be 10,002, 10,003, and so on. We've got different ways of generating an order. Usually it's from a supplier though, but you can order from another store of your own or an integrated supplier, which we will mention in a later video. So I'm going to say that I want to order from Canagan. Okay, so there we go. We can fill the rest of this in if we want to. What currency are we ordering it in? So in this case, pounds. Once you've sent the order, they may give you a code which you can fill in afterwards, like ABC123 or something like that. And again, the rest of them you can fill in as and when you need to. So you can put all the company details in and the delivery details and so on. But I'm happy with that. I'm just going to press tick, and that creates a new order. You can then press edit order items or just double click the order instead. Either one will work. You can see how they open up in tabs. So you can actually have multiple orders open at the same time and switch between them. There's nothing stopping you adding items manually, so you could click add one line and just start adding a load of items that Canagan sell. We've also got a quick add here, so you can search by barcode, name, supplier code would usually be the answer there, and so on. So you could type in the barcode or the name or something. So if I said name and I start typing in DOG, I could go enter, down, spacebar 3, and do that. So I could add items manually if I want to, and then just keep going quickly. But most of the time, let's just delete that. You are going to generate an order based on minimum and maximum. There are other ways of generating an order, and we will cover them in a different video. But in this case, we want to generate it based on minimum and maximum. There's quite a few options we can choose, but when you've chosen your options, they will stay as the default for the next one. The main one I want is round quantities to nearest case size. So I obviously want to round it up and assume 0 for products with a negative quantity. So this is minus 50 in stock. You're going to assume that the answer is 0. I'm happy with all that. You can limit it by category if you want as well. So maybe not want to order everything from a supplier. You can order it from these certain categories from that supplier too. By the way, if I didn't choose a supplier, it would order everything from anything. Press tick. And that will generate us an order. Here we go. So it's saying order 4 units or 1 case, 8 units or 1 case of each of these different items here. And that's basically it. You can manually change these numbers. So you could say, well, actually, I'd like to order 8 of them. So just start typing a number in. Oh, you can't order 8 because the case size is 3. So that's better. And this one can be ordered in pack sizes of 1. So I could start typing numbers in here or type them down there like that. Once I'm happy with it, by the way, of course, but you can quickly change your minimums and maximums in case it's ordered too much or not enough. But when you're happy, you can then close the order, and the next job is then to send the order off. Okay, so you could then print the order items, print it off, and, you know, call them up, or email the order as a CSV or Excel spreadsheet, or even export it depending on who the supplier is. So any kind of special formats, JSON, XML, CSV, anything like that you can choose. But that was a very quick way of generating an order based on minimum and maximum. If the minimum is -1, that is our way of saying don't reorder the product, because a minimum of -1 is impossible. You could also have a minimum of 0, maximum 3. And you could wait, which is basically like saying wait till I've run out and then order some more. By the way, another thing you can do as well is if you've got an old order and anything like that, you can right click and copy and cut the items as well. Another good use is if you press set criteria and say show items available cheaper from other suppliers, although it won't come up on my example, it will highlight in red those items that you can get cheaper elsewhere. And if you right click it at the bottom, it shows you all the different costs you could pay for that item. What you can do then is you can just delete them, and then when it comes to generating an order from an alternative supplier, those items still need reordering, so they come up in the list. So it's always a good idea to check which items you can get cheaper from elsewhere before you commit your order.